lovely day. And yes, the axle narrowing video is here. Yep, we're going to slice and dice the Reliant Rialto axle. I'll show you what's going on. Right, now in order to actually work out the proper width of the axle, now I've finally decided which wheels I'm going to use, wheel horse ones with new centres. I had to do a lot of mocking up to basically get everything looking right, and sort of when it hit the grin factor, or big cheesy grin and a bit of cackling, I knew I'd hit it right. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. It'll look better once all this is filled in with stuff, but it's enough to give me a new axle width. There's the axle. Yeah, a wee bit wider than standard wheel horse, but a stability, which is the idea. Now your better paper's blown away. Right, here be the Reliant axle. Now standard width, they are 1188 millimeters, which is a bit wide because it sort of hang off the edges of the bench, that sort of wide. Especially using these horse wheels now, they have quite a bit of dish, which means the mounting points are a lot further in. So unravelling, let's get on. Right, so I need an axle that's 780 millimeters wide from hub to hub, or brake drum to brake drum, which means I've got to cut a whopping 254 millimeters out of each side, which, as luck would have it, is a gap between those two bits of masking tape. Right, now I'm not steady enough of hand to cut accurate enough on these, because they do require accuracy. The old angle grinder, it's a little bit dodgy at times. And my metal slicing machine down there somewhere is just not accurate enough for anything anymore, really. So I'll be taking these to your mate's place, Nigel's, this afternoon to have them sliced on his far more accurate slicing machine. But before that happens, I'm going to separate the two halves, clean it up, well, clean this half up anyway, and mark out where it needs to be cut. Well, there's the two axle halves, cleaned up and snazzily painted. Well, no, just using odds and sods of aerosol can I've got. Right, so I need to slice. Let's work out if we can see what I'm looking at. Anyway, 254 millimeters, which is about there, out of each side. So what I've done is I've marked it on the other side where it should be, because this side has a handy groove which will help, hopefully, keep it square on the tube. But if we do it that way up, one cut mark here, the other cut mark here, and just move around and mark as I go. I've got a scribe somewhere, so let's scratch some paint off. And there you are, two axles mocked up for cutting. Zoom, zoom, zoom. One cut there, one cut here. Now these, that one and that one, they're vital for, well, lining the two halves back together again once we've cut the middle bit out. So make sure you've got them marked. There they are. It's definitely easier to see on grey primer than red primer away. Red primer away? Red primer, by the way, a little tip for you there. Right, now I'm not pretending that this is the only way to narrow these axles. There are lots of different ways of doing it. Done quite a bit of research, but for me this is the easiest and simplest with what tools I've got available. Some people drill these rivets out that hold the tube in and press it out, I can literally just cut off the desired amount, machine the groove back in, there's the groove, and then push it all back in. Now, 2 reasons I can't do this. One is my lathe's just not big enough. Now, also it would seem there's a sort of 50-50ish chance, maybe, somewhere around there I'm guessing, of the actual alley casing splitting when you push your tube back in. Now, I don't particularly want that to happen, so I don't have to spend money on another diff casing, so I'm chopping it all in situ and giving it a good clean out afterwards. Equally, when doing this sort of stuff, if you're unsure of your welding capabilities, then get someone who can weld properly to do it. Now, I'm a lot happier with my welding now. I've got a MIG fired up with gas doing as it should be. A lot more strength, a lot more heat, much better welds. So, yeah, if you're not sure on what you're doing, don't do it, get someone else to. So that's my little disclaimer. Anyway, gonna go off and chop these axles up and return them, weld them back together. Hopefully this is the right diameter to act as a sleeve, but won't know till we cut it open, so be back later. Oh, morning all, back at it again. Yep, axle well and truly chopped down. You can see how much has had to come out each side. It's a fair old whack. So what have we been up to? Oh, other than cutting, these are sleeves, sleeve inside. These are spun up from some old scaffold pole. A bit of this. Right, now these are very tight fitting here, as you can kind of see there. The groove, this groove, is because these, can you see it in there? Yeah, there it is down the middle and down the bottom. It's a manufacturing line from where the tube was rolled up and welded. So that is just slight groove, not much at all. Will slot on either side and help centralise that sort of thing. Right, very important. Also, tapered the edges of these and cleaned a bit of paint off. Now, when cleaning the paint off, don't clean all of it off. Leave your scribe line so you can. There's one on here somewhere. So you can line the two halves back up, sort of thing. Right, onwards, I guess. So, a bit nervous, this is my first axle widening. I can't see any reason why it won't go right. Now, these sleeves are maximum length. One end butts up against the rivets, and the other end butts up, can you see it in there? Against, there's a stopper thing for a axle stopper. That probably doesn't make sense. Hang on. There you are. You see the bearing? You see that thing behind? That's a sort of axle stopper. Stops the axle moving too much. And that butts up in here. So, in theory, just tap it all together and it should all line up. So I'm going to give it a whirl. Well, there you go. That's the two halves back together. I think this is. You can hold this right. Doesn't help with the shadows in this place. There you go. It's pretty damn square all round. Lines up nicely. As does this one. Now what I'm going to do is strip the rest of the paint off and put the grinder on the. Or grinding disc on the grinder and widen this V a bit so I can get a bit more filler weld, and then zap it up. Right, we'll get to the zapping shortly. Right, both cleaned out and read out a bit more. Now, I would admit a couple of things here. That the actual sleeves I made were a bit shorter than I should have been, but there's still half on each side, which is more than plenty to line it up. And also they're such a tight fit that I had to use the hydraulic press to get them in. Not too great a pressure, so nothing in danger of risking splitting aluminium, but it had to be done slightly more than hammer force could handle. Well, without swinging a sledgehammer in here anyway. But yeah, I'm happy. Everything in here is quite tight. Now, some people clamp stuff each side before tack welding. As this is all such a tight fit now, nothing's going to move. I can't see it moving at all with a bit of heat. So what I'm going to do, get the tack welds going, see if we can hold the camera steady. Welds either side. Cool, what's going on with this hand? Yep, welds either side and the other side, and take it from there. Well, firmly welded up. Lots of blobs around to keep it in place. I did the sort of 4 opposites and then between those. Well, nearly between those. So that's a chance to cool when I've had a coffee. I'm going to weld it up. Sort of fill in a bit, do the bit opposite, and just work my way around until it's all done. And that should get plenty of heat into it as well and help keep it all together. I'll be back after welding. Right, all welded up. May not be the tidiest of welding, but oh, it is strong. This thing's got rather hot, shall we say, and that was the first one done. This is even hotter. So yeah, I'm pretty confident that'll hold them together. Yeah, now there will all be extra mountings welded to this anyway over the join, so that'll add more strength. Right, I guess I'd best, that's the one, I guess I'd best bolt the casing together and plonk it under the back and see exactly how narrow it is. Oh, there it is, one narrowed Reliant axle, well, the casing anyway. I think that looks quite good under there. Not quite at the right height yet, and no doubt needs to come forward and back a bit, but now it's narrowed, well, the casing's narrowed, I can get that in position and work out the rest of the chassis sort of from the back going forwards, or even from the front coming backwards. You never know. It's whatever takes my fancy, really. Right, as I'm sitting down, I'm going to stay sitting down. I hope you all like this video. I hope it will prove handy for someone out there who's looking to narrow a Reliant axle. Part 2, the actual axle narrowing, will be along in a video or two's time. Got to get cracking on with that. But yeah, my first axle narrowing. Well, excuse me. Well, half of it. Now, if you want to have a bash yourself at doing this sort of thing, I encourage you, just make sure your welding's up to scratch. If you're not sure what you're doing, you don't think your welding's up to the job, then get someone else to do that bit for you. So yep, you can use my video as a guide, but don't forget it's a guide only. I have no control over your welding or your abilities, so what you do is all down to you. I hold no responsibility. And there you go. Anyway, as always, thank you to my new subscribers. Much appreciated, guys and girls. I'm just happy to know you all like what I'm doing so much. Yeah, usual 2 forums. Red Square, hello guys. Go and check out Red Square at www.wheelhorseforum.com. And the other favourite forum, which you should know by now, mouldmachine.com. All sorts of machinery, garden, tractor, walk behind, even some very strange builds going on. So go and have a look. That's mouldmachine.com. Right, that's it for this video. As I said, the axle narrowing, the actual axle bit narrowing, will be along in a video or two's time. But until then, or whenever the next video appears, and I'll stop rambling as I normally am, I'll catch you later. Ta-da.